The goal of this tutorial is to introduce you to R. But why on earth did we download two programs, R and RStudio? The goal of this video is to provide an answer to this question. Let us start by looking at a quick analogy. I'm going to show you three cars. This car is the Mercedes SLK 55. This very nice car is the Mercedes SL 55. And this car is the Mercedes CLK 55. So we have three different cars, but they have something in common. Your first guess would be that they have the number 55 in common in their names. But even beyond that, they all have the exact same engine. So the three cars, although they have different bodies, they have the same engine. So the main difference then is not in their power, but it is in the feature that they have access to. For example, they have different dashboards, and the different dashboards give their owners different features. In the same way, when it comes to using R and RStudio, R is the engine. R does all the heavy lifting. R does all the computations and all that. RStudio is just the body. It's just a nice and convenient way to use R. So we're not really using RStudio. What we're really using is R, and RStudio once again is just the dashboard that we use in order to access the great features of R. Let's begin by taking a quick look at the R software. And you can already see that the user interface is slightly archaic. It looks like a software that was made in the 90s or something like that. However, whatever is in the power of R can actually be done here. You can do all sorts of things here without any problem. But it's always nice to work from a slightly nicer interface, and that's why we use RStudio instead. Alright, so you can already see that this environment, this user interface is slightly nicer. You have more menus, more buttons, you have different panes, and working from here has a lot of convenience, as I said. And one nice thing that RStudio does for you is that it implements code auto completion. So let's assume that I want to use, let's say, the replicate function. So when I start typing replicate like this, it will autocomplete for me, and it will even add parentheses and all that. So these are some of the features of RStudio that are very neat. So remember, all the work that we're going to do is with R. RStudio is just a nice way to work with R. And RStudio is known as an IDE, an integrated development environment. By the way, RStudio is not the only IDE to work with R. There are other IDEs. However, I personally believe that it is the best IDE for working with R out there. And this is why we're going to use RStudio in this tutorial.